Hello, I'm Julius. I am the creator of Above the Color of Law. And again, I thank you for sharing this time with me. I focus on the mental and physical thought processes relating to what we call law. Today's episode of There Is No Spoon, Phase 1, Identifying the Proper Question, is sponsored by Goal Care, where Goal Care focuses on the goal setting and achievement system that will help you gain a strong sense of awareness. So make the decision to embrace the power of exploring the possibilities to create the life that you want. Links are in a tab somewhere on the screen or in the description below. There is no spoon. Identifying the proper question, phase 1. Okay, at this point, I explain what I'm talking about. Identifying the proper question. The proper question being identified is what helps your subconscious mind come to the right resolve. People want to try to totally command things in the subconscious. It really doesn't work that way. We're going to have to explain how the matter that you call consciousness comes into fruition. Okay, so first, step 1 is identifying the proper question. Now, I'm going to ask you this question. Have you ever had an illusion that you were thought was so real you were unable to wake up from this illusion? Well, the name of this illusion is called the government. And the quest for this truth begins with knowing what is real and what is an illusion, with an ability to tell the facts from the illusion, because this illusion lasts 24/7, every day, all day. Now, I'm kind of hyped here because I just had a incident. I have a car that is not a targeted car, and I got pulled over specifically for tents. And the officer did his job correctly. I want you to understand this. So I'm going to stop here because this is what I want to tell you about not fighting. When you're dealing with the officers and the public officials, they're just doing their jobs. Okay. Now, I messed up because I had a time. He was very cooperative. If that's the word you want to use. He's very friendly, very friendly, very friendly. And I could have taken this chance to ask him a few questions. However, I missed that opportunity. What I believe happened was because the way my car's set up, the wheels really look good. I think that's probably what got his attention, that brought his attention on to me. However, this is the example. The difference between traveling and driving, and the difference of being in a vehicle and an automobile. Okay, the states govern the licensing of commercial activities. However, travel amongst regular Americans is a right, not a privilege. Okay, my car, I have plans, and I've been sleeping. To put the tag, it's a tag holder on the back of my car that says non-commercial private vehicle. See, when you deal with people, you have to give them notice. And then on my old driver's license, I have it set up whereas I'm an agent, and it tells them when they look at it that I'm not one of your commercial entities. However, being that I have a new license, I haven't set it up, and I haven't set up my car properly because they come up behind you, they're going to see everything that's on your tags. So what I'm trying to tell you is, if you don't have your place set up initially, the presumption that you're in their jurisdiction is going to always weigh itself. Now, the next thing I really don't like about the way the tickets are given. Well, I didn't get a ticket; I got a warning, which again, is very lenient. And for all you people who say, well, he was just on a ticket quota. Well, if he was on a ticket quota, he would have given me a ticket. So the ticket quota presumption doesn't work on this one. And I'm quite sure he thought I was probably a yo boy or something like that. Because that's the way my car is set up. Because he got to the car, he looked like this is what I'm. This is actually what I'm wearing right here. He looked at my suit, looked at my tie and my jacket, and I know what went through his mind was, what the hell are you doing driving this type of car? So I brought attention to myself. I bring this up because in this process, you can do an affidavit or things, and then someone has to translate your affidavit into the system. Okay? So you bring attention to yourself. However, if you use this system the way it's intended to be used, you don't bring attention to yourself. So for people who want to understand this concept, go online, look up the gray man theory. Okay, back in the day, we thought of it as ninjas. If you were going to do something, you wouldn't wear the black ninja outfit. If it was a ballroom, you would wear a suit and a tie. If it was a tux, you would have that too. You got to dress the part. Okay, and the car that I drive, nobody pulls it over. It's just one of those cars that you see go by. Evidently, and see, another one. My rims were smoked out. They were like grays. It's a gray. It's a dark gray. So they didn't now, because I had to fix them and replace them. The ones I have on now are bright, so that brings a lot more attention to the car. So I'm quite sure that's what happened. So now, as a creditor, I got 3 days to deal with this complaint. Okay. As a debtor, I got 30 days to deal with the complaint. Creditors always deal with 30 days. However, since my driver's license, which is really a traveler's permit, did not say anything on it about me reserving my rights. And since my car, when you come up and you see the license plate at the back, it has nothing to say that I'm actually not in a commercial activity. I really don't have much of a ground. I mean, I could establish ground. And another thing I'm going to tell you is these little things, okay, people like to go to court and practice their fighting skills. Okay, we're not fighting. There is no fighting. Okay, and when you get a small citation, it's really not worth it. It's better just to pay it and go. Because understand, you can do anything you want, even on the smallest of fractions of our citations. The question is, do you want to go through it? Now, there's the illusion that I am a driver instead of a traveler. There's an illusion that I drive in a vehicle instead of an automobile. And I've done nothing to void those illusions. So, as it is now, I'm going to have to just deal with that. This is every day, all day, 24/7. Now, the twist to this is that the illusion that is called the United States, which until now has been portrayed as our so-called government when it's actually a for-profit corporation, okay, that actually uses projections to fill our eyes. These projections are the syndicated news that we hear every day. Whatever. You should look up this, I think it's called Symphony of News or Song or something like that. And they actually overlap all of the stations saying the exact same thing because they work off of teletypes and teleprompts, except for, they'll change their call signs or something like that. So, and they basically control your thought. Your radio stations do the same thing. Now, legally, the lawyers do it by driving you through rationale. Okay. You're legally driven with rational arguments, and that's how everyone is enslaved in the public domain. So, for instance, the rational argument is in my case, every driver needs a driver's license. However, the truth of the fact is a traveler who's not engaged in commerce does not. So it's the job of the lawyers to see that this job of entrapment is efficient, and they do this by regularly keeping us in the dark through the use of logical fallacies. Now, this is going to be a big subject for me, logical fallacies. Now, for the sake of time, I need to explain how lawyers tell non-truths to evade to get the jobs done. You're going to have to go and research what a logical fallacy is. Okay. And basically, if you understand, do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Anything other than that is perjury. It's just simple. Even evading it is. And this is basically what they do. However, you don't necessarily do it to them. And that's how they gain the control over whatever they want. So, in yet another episode, I'm going to have to explain how judicial proceedings are used to bully us and intimidate us into non-judicial proceedings. Okay? That being said, we must trust our intuition and we must trust the facts. Now, without further delay, I want to get into, I'm trying to work my way into it, but I'm really not going to work my way into it. In the first video, the introduction, this is actually the first video, the first one was the introduction. I said that the 1040 was the wrong form to use. Okay, so if the IRS has a manual, it has a procedure manual. It's a procedure manual, and I think its number is 6209. And in the procedure manual, under this right here, I printed it for you sake. It says the document locator. Okay, and it's section number 4. Okay, I'm hoping you're going to be able to see this. In the document locator, in the highlighted part where it says number 5 right here, okay, that's the information return processing gift and estate taxes. Okay, now if you look here, it says this is the tax. This is how you read the information. I'm looking at the tax class right here. I got something else I'm going to show you too, and show you how this illusion works. Okay. Wow. I'm jumping too far forward. I'm going to get back to this. Let me start this. Your ultimate freedom is in, I'm coining it, the BEAT procedure. Okay, not beats that you put on your ears or beats that you eat. The BEAT. It's an acronym. So BEAT. B equals bankruptcy. The United States is in bankruptcy. You have to understand this concept. E is estates and trust. Okay, I got to use the E. Estates and trust. The A is accounting. And the T is for taxes. Okay, now, when you have evidence of taxes to be filed, the evidence you have is going to be in a tax class. And the tax class, let me see if I can find this here. This is in tax returns and forms number 2. I downloaded this off of the IRS website from, I believe it's 6209. And if you look here, your W-2 is in what tax class? Tax class 5. Okay? So you report your W-2s, and I'm going to show you another one here. This is W-4. Your W-4 is in what tax class? It's in tax class 5. Okay? Keep that in mind. Okay? Now, all this I got from Gene Keating's video. Okay? I think the video was posted by Yusuf, L or high frequency. So I'm working from Keating. Now, right here where my finger is a 1040. Everybody that files a 1040. What tax class is 1040? It's a 2. it's a 2. Okay? So you're using tax class evidence from 5 on a tax class 2 form. You're using the wrong form. Okay? Now, I know I'm going off track, you people, but just follow me here. Now, when I looked at these forms, wow, no, let's go back to this paper right here. I'm going to show you something very, very interesting. When I got to 1099s, okay, now, this is funny too. They got a whole lot of 1040s. All the 1040s are basically in the same class, okay, but I'm not interested in that right now. Right here you see 1099, 1099A, 1099, 1099, 1099, okay. All your 1099s are class 5s. Your 1099s are class 5s, just like your W-2s. Okay? Class 5 is estate and gift tax. That's what it is. Class 5 is estate and gift tax. What's actually happening is you're going to work, and for your sweat equity, your employer is giving you a gift, and he's reporting that gift on a W-2. Okay? Now, what form should you be using for this? Now, I'm having a real hard time with this one little piece of information. And can I find it here? Yep, it's right here. Let me get a highlighter, you guys. Just give me a minute. Okay, there's an asterisk beside these, but I want you to see something. Form 706 and Form 709. If you look at them, they're both class 5s. They're in tax class 5, both of them. You're using the wrong form. The forms that you turn in, considering you get the form. Now remember, you can do an affidavit, but then someone has to do some work. You turn them in correctly. Now, this doesn't deal with the accounting. So let me stop just for a second again. When you're dealing with your 1099s, those are called OIDs, original issues. Original issue discount. That's what it's called, OIDs. So they are anything you originally issued. Now, this is American Jurisprudence Second Edition. This is an old one, okay? Federal Taxation. This is 1995, 33A. This is where your information is going to be. Now, I had to go down and I had to key site, or is it site key? I think it's called key site. 24A to get the updated versions of all of that. And the updated versions of all of that translates to the codes. When you have an IRS code book, it shows you what codes are applicable. Okay. So, I don't get it. Where's the spoon? The spoon is the 1040. Spoon is the 1040. Now, Ben, I'm currently working on this. I'm not going to suggest what form, well, I actually probably just did, what form you should be. Now, I will tell you this. The 1040, you can only go back 3 years. You can only go back 3 years on the IRS, but IRS can go back 25 years on you. You can only go back 3 years on the 1040. But when you're in gift and estates, there's no limitation. Now, this series is 33, 33A, 34, 34A, and 34B. So if you're going to go get a set of American jurisprudence, they're like $25,000, $26,000. I'm letting you know now. 33, 33A, 34, 34A, and 34B will not be in it. Those are separate subscriptions. And I went back down to the law library to verify my facts, and those 5 books are not on the shelf. I was told somebody probably leased them out. Borrowed them. So it's probably some big wig in there, but they weren't there. I like to actually put my eyes on books. And as far as the other older ones, I got those. So I understand. Okay, bankruptcy is a good thing. Okay, I'm gonna say this one too. If you guys think that Donald Trump was broke when he went into bankruptcy, you guys are stupid. Okay, Donald Trump. I'm not even gonna call his name. Bankruptcy can be used to further your ends once you know how to use it, because you can use bankruptcy to draw out people. You draw them out, and then you can deal with them. So bankruptcy in itself is a tool. So, well, bankruptcy is a bad thing. Well, you've been told it was a bad thing because you don't know how to use your tools. So let's go over the beat principle again. There's bankruptcy, okay? There's estates and trust. Everything is in a trust. Even you people who think you own your houses, look at your mortgages, your deeds, whatever you have. It says you're a tenant. I got to keep going. Accounting. These are accounting facts. Okay? So when the IRS audits you, the IRS audits you, they don't audit everybody. They just pick a few people here and there. They want to see if your paperwork is right. The IRS are auditors. They're accountants. Okay? So you show that you got your OIDs in order and blah, 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 blah. You're good. You're good. See, it's the fact that you're filing the 1040s instead of your proper forms, and that little, it's called an affidavit. Yeah, the affidavit, it's called a penalty of perjury under there. That's what you're signing. That's what's hanging you. It's called a perjury statement. That's what it's called. That's what's hanging you. Okay? So, because I have not secured which form it is, I'm going to have to stop at that particular part of the information. Now, the next thing is when Gene Keating, at the end of the video, he said, I'm going to show y'all how to put all this together. I don't have that video. If anybody does have it, please forward it to me. I'll pay you for it. Because that, right now, and it's something I noticed about Keating. Keating don't necessarily tell you what to do. He gives you the elements, and it's up to you to put the what's calls together. So, if he's going to tell me how to put it together, anybody who's got that, I'm be ready for you to give it to me. So, as far as my warning goes, I did not give I did not reserve my rights, so I am where I am. It's just that simple. And what happened is, I'm like, why is he pulling me over? Nobody pulls me over. Okay? The other time I got pulled over, it was for a headlight, and that's because I was in a bad neighborhood. Even with they just don't bother my particular car. So it means I'm bringing attention to myself. Okay. So, at this point, you're going to have to trust your intuition. Now, this is the beginning of the path to freeing your mind. The reason why I showed you all this stuff is because if you're like me, I don't believe stuff that people say. So I was going to put links in the description for this stuff. But what I've noticed is a lot of the links, even on the website itself, don't work. They either link you, I'm assuming they're supposed to send you to a particular page, but they send you to the same document, and I already read that part. And the ones that's supposed to be this fix all, those links are broken. So you're going to go on the IRS website and put in procedure manual. But it's going to be 6209, and look at all of them. Okay, I basically downloaded all of them. I printed most of them, the ones that I need. So there's something we all know, and most of us can't explain it. So I'm trying to explain it here. Okay. Next thing I want to say is this rabbit hole that it keeps talking about. You could even look at it as one rabbit hole with a lot of tubes, or different ones. So the one for the driver's license is a different one from the one with your social security number. They're all different. Okay. And you're going to have to figure out which one you're going to do at which time. My problem is I'm all over the place all the time. And right now I'm focusing on beat. Okay. Now, the stuff I'm telling you, a lot of people, I've heard that before. I've heard it before. Yeah. You've heard it, but nobody ever tells you how to do it. Nobody gives you the formula. So I'm going to be working on the elements of the formula. Now, we have an inner mysterious compass that points us in the right direction. You're going to have to depend on this. And it points us in the right direction before our reasonable, cool minds can even catch up with what we're doing. Our intuitions and our dreams leads us to form all of the important questions, like what is the United States? And watch this. How is the corporation called the United States operating? Okay. Now, if you ask what is the United States, well, you're going to have to go to Black's Law Dictionary to find the answer. So if you do this, and I have down here 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, editions of Black's Law Dictionary. And editions 4, 5, and 6, the definition of United States is in there. And in 7, the definition of United States in America has been taken out. Okay? So, let me deal with the United States a little bit too. This corporation. There's this movement on somewhere, freedom movement somewhere, and they saw the pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic, then they stop and they focus on the word republic. The United States is a republic. I think of Benjamin Franklin said, "What did you give it?" Something he said, and he said, "Well, I gave you a republic if you can keep it." Okay. Now republics go through cycles, and it's a cycle thing, and they generally only last 200 years. I think the United States is doing so well because it's not just a republic. So let's go back to the Pledge of Allegiance for a second. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic. If you understand English, the word "and" means it's two things. So you have the United States the United States is owned by America. Okay. Well, actually, they're actually owned by international bankers. But I need to keep this simple. So, United States of America, the United States is a democracy. It's a democratic form. It has a democratic form. And the republic, that's America. So it really should say, I pledge allegiance to the United States and America, which is the republic. So if you think that the United States is democracy, you're half right. If you think that the United States is a republic, you're half right. Now, it leads me to make a short comment on this. People say that all laws have a conflicting or an opposite law, and you can use whichever one you want. That's not true. There are two systems. There's a system for the man, and there's a system for the corporation, your commercial transmitting utility. They are opposite. However, when you don't know which one is coming from which, it sounds like they're in opposition and not. So this is why the real does not mix with the fantasy, or it mixes with the dead. The live don't mix with the dead. That's what it comes out to be. Okay? But you realize that your attorneys are representing your straw man and not you. Okay? They're representing your commercial transmitting utility, not you. Then when you start fighting, you become entangled with your commercial transmitting utility. And when they snatch the commercial transmitting utility, they snatch you with it. This is the whole thing behind separating yourself from your commercial transmitting utility and saying, I'm me and he's he, if that's the way you want to put it. However, when you start fighting, you just bind yourself right back to where you were, and all that work you did just goes right down the drain. Okay? Okay, so I'm hoping this is getting through, and I apologize again. Let's start the path to freedom. It's a growing awareness of this invisible thing that surrounds us, this United States, which is an illusion that cannot be perceived by the senses of the smell, of the taste, or the touch. In fact, most of us are also ignorant or we are so ignorant that we don't even know that this exists. Okay, so to give you an example, I'm going to give you a story. You may have heard it, so bear with me. There are two young fish, and they are swimming around, and they don't know that they're surrounded by water. Ain't that something? Fish in water. They don't know. And then an experienced fish approaches the two young fish and asks the two young fish, how's the water? And without a reply, because there's a lot of times people don't say anything because they don't want to look stupid, the two young fish keep on swimming, and then for a bit, eventually one of the fish looks over to the other and asks, what the hell is water? Understand that initially freeing the mind involves questioning what is obvious. These are those things that are right in front of your eyes. So the point of the fish story is that you need to question the most obvious things, even if they seem silly. When you call up, they're going to tell you need to do a 1040. You ain't did your 1040. You need to do an extension. They're going to tell you need to turn in, what is that? A tax class, a tax class 2 document for tax 5 wages. That's what they're going to tell you. Okay? And these are the hardest ones to see. That's why I brought it to you. And they're obviously right in front of your faces. So just as the two fish were asked about the quality of the water, I ask you a similar question. Do you think that's air you're breathing right now? Yeah, it sounds stupid, don't it? Understand, this is an illusion. And the illusion is literally maintained by yourself. You are maintaining the illusion. So I had a few other comments that I wanted to make. And it had to do, how does that thing go? I didn't take the time to print them. Jeez, Mo flip. Okay. I want you to hold on for just a second. I'm going to see if I can actually retrieve this. Okay. I apologize to you guys for actually not being more prepared. Okay. We went over the tax forms, W-2s, the 1099s. Okay, fight with the straw man. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to get into you is how you negotiate these rabbit holes. Okay. I'm going to put it to you this way. Have you ever worked a maze? You know what you said start here and finish here. Well, the products of most of the stuff you see around me is me starting at start and going to the finish. However, all mazes are easier when you start at the finish and work your way backwards because at least you know your goal. You don't pick up a whole lot of stuff that you actually don't need. Okay. Now, most of this process has been, quite honestly, chasing that spoon. When you realize that that path doesn't serve you as well as it should, you need to get on another path. So that's why I wanted to introduce this to you, because these forms are really the only thing that's tying you in to your slavery. As the slave, you're going to be doing back breaking, sweating work, even if you're in your air conditioned buildings. I get that. And that's how you're going to deal with it. However, if you know that you are the creditor and you know how to, so again, the whole point is to never fight. Not even on paper. Just never fight. I mean, I could have had a lot of conversation with that officer. For what? It's not the time. It's not the place. I could have asked him some very good questions, but I was so freaked out by, wow, I got caught. Now, if it happens again, God forbid it don't, I would know, hey, hey, so how you doing today? What got your attention to me? And I could have got some very, very good information. Another thing is, it's better to get information for people who are actually in. So if you want to get information about the police or the police department, ask a cop. Don't ask somebody who hates the police. If you want to know something about one, ask one that's in that particular organization. So I'm gonna put a pin in it here. This is my first step: beats and understanding. Okay, because see, they made you sign a W-2 before you started your job. They did you a favor. Just understand that your W-2 is a tax class document, and the 10W-4 is a tax class 2 document. So you got to understand right now. And I'm going to at least attempt to, if anybody has that, the DVD or the video, anything after, after this, it's called Tax Class Legacy from Gene Keating. Let me know. Give it to me. Well, whatever. Share it with me. And that's gonna be because most of the stuff I'm bringing, and the reason why that I'm picking on those videos, because all the other ones before them are good. However, this one is closer to the arrowhead. It's closer to the point. So if you want to keep up with my latest metaphysical and mental tips, remember to hit the subscribe button and do the same for our sponsor, which this episode is Gold Care. Links are somewhere in the tab and on the screen below. Hold on for a second, please. Looks like I have it. There you go. Somewhere in the description below. And thanks for sharing your time with me.